Hello, everyone, and a very healthy good morning to all of you. I hope you all are enjoying this beautiful journey of Healthy Weight, Healthy Living program. And every single day, we are learning something new about our health. I hope you are also seeing a difference in your health, in your healthy weight, and the learning that you are taking in every session is what you are applying in your daily lifestyle. So today also we're gonna learn about a new topic, a new understanding, and I'm sure the journey that we have covered so far, now day 61, and we are here. I'm sure you guys are enjoying now this beautiful journey, and every single day we are connecting, every day we are learning. So to continue this graph of learning about our health, about our healthy living, healthy weight, today we are gonna talk about a very amazing topic, and I'm sure you all gonna relate it to your everyday lifestyle. Today we're gonna talk about musculoskeletal health and weight, and especially we understand what is musculoskeletal health, but understanding how it is related to our weight. How can we take care of our musculoskeletal health, and how the weight can be managed with that? And today we have our expert speaker who's going to talk about it. And we also know that the knowledge that we are going to get from here would definitely going to help us in not just today but future. So without further ado, I would like to invite uh, our speaker of the day, which is Amrita Mitra, the nutritionist, graduation in food and nutrition from University of Calcutta, and post graduation in food science and nutrition from Pondicherry University. She has experience of over 2 years in field of nutrition, both as teacher and nutritionist, and also she is handling various lifestyle disorder and managing clients from various background. So I'm sure we're gonna learn a lot from Mitra Metra. So welcome and over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Shimali, for this amazing introduction. And a very good morning to everyone. I hope for everyone, the healthy journey is going really strong. And as Shimali has pointed out, for today's topic, we will discuss more about everything about the musculoskeletal health and how basically our weight impacts the musculoskeletal health. So, before any discussion, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So, as I said, we'll discuss about musculoskeletal health and weight and how they are related and how they impact each other. So, before that, I would like to ask a question that what is musculoskeletal health, or do we have a clear understanding about what is musculoskeletal health? So, musculoskeletal health is basically how our muscle and bone together interact and how they are made into a system, because muscle is an active tissue. Our body is basically made up of like fat mass and then fat free mass. In fat mass, all the fat cells or the fat part of the body comes, which do not metabolize or do not have an active cellular metabolism system. They do not utilize as energy. But the other part, muscle and bone, they utilize as energy and they form a system altogether, and muscle is the most active part of it. So here what you were seeing is a very interesting slide actually. In the upper picture, you are seeing a person who is overweight or who is obese is losing their weight and going to his leaner self, and going to his optimum weight basically. And in the lower picture, you're seeing a person who is already lean is lifting their weight and lifting the weight, which is very important in building the muscle. Both of these are very two different sets of activities, but they actually have very immense effect on our musculoskeletal health, because once one loses weight and goes to its optimal weight level, uh, basically near to one's optimal weight, there is an impact on our musculoskeletal health. We'll discuss further how it is. And the more one person who is already lean, they uh, lift weight to build those muscles, lose keeping the muscles development and building muscles are quite two different things, but altogether they have very immense effect on the health of our musculoskeletal system. So musculoskeletal system, as I was saying, is a active tissue, and it have a interaction system, amazing interaction system with our bone. The more you strengthen the muscles, the more you strengthen your bone through activities, the more they interact with each other. So before we go any further, we need to know a little bit in detail about what is musculoskeletal system. We are giving the terminology musculoskeletal system, which any person can understand that it means that muscle and skeleton or bones. But is musculoskeletal system is all about only muscle and bones? It's not. It actually a lot more complex than it generally appears to be. So musculoskeletal system, as I have already mentioned, it consists of muscle and bones, but there is also the different other components within it. For example, tendon. Tendon is something that keeps your muscle and bone connected together. It's a fibrous part or a fibrous tissue, and there is ligament as well, which keeps the bone and bone connected. There is cartilage present in musculoskeletal system. Cartilage is basically a soft tissue which stays between the bones, and it gives you a cushiony effect, gives your bones a cushiony effect. So it prevents any kind of mechanical injury to the bones. All of this all together forms our musculoskeletal system. Ligaments also limits the kind of movement you can take with your joints, because any kind of joints present in our body, we can move around them, but there is always a limit to the movement. So that limitation is brought about by ligament. So all of this all together actually makes our musculoskeletal system. So now physical activity influences our bone muscle crosstalk. What is bone muscle crosstalk? What does it mean about? Because as we have named the system musculoskeletal system, it basically muscle and bone interacting with each other and making a system that bears our weight and that has immense effect in our body. So how physical activity influences this? Physical activity basically have immense effect on how the bone and muscle talk to each other, and how they affect each other activity, and how they are going to perform in the body. So how is that happening? How we do that? The first thing physical activity does is the mechanical force, or the strength itself. The more one does the exercise, the more there is different kind of activity a person, it can be anything, but the different kind of activity a person undergoing, the more the mechanical strength or physical strength is generating, it actually makes your bone and your muscle work harder, it makes it work more. And the more the bone and muscle works, the more actually they activate and stimulate, which is very important to keep them healthy and strong. It's the one part of the body, the more you use it, the better the health of it is. And the next part, or the second part of the physical activities influences on this system, is the paracrine system. In paracrine system, what happens is bone is also an active tissue. It's not made up of just hard minerals and all. It's also an active tissue. It generates various kind of cytokines or signaling molecules for the muscle to understand, and for the it influences the activity of the muscle. In similar way, as muscle is also an active tissue, it also produces various kind of different cytokines and various kind of different signaling molecules, which influences how the bone works. So you can see how they actually crosstalk to each other, and physical activity actually influences that crosstalk. And there is other function, which is hormone. Hormone is a very, very important different kinds of hormone has very important effect on various parts of our body, including our musculoskeletal system as well. So hormones like what we can say is a growth factor, insulin like growth factors or different testosterones, which not only in male but also in female have very different effects on the body. And physical activity actually influences how these hormones, or how much of these hormones are getting secreted at till what age, and all of that has very important effect on our musculoskeletal health as well, or in our bone muscle crosstalk as well. The another part is our muscle adaptation and strength. The more one does one kind of activity, our muscle actually adapts to those activity. So this whole adaptivity also affects our bone muscle crosstalk, because you can see it's very evident in athlete, because the depending on what kind of activity you do, your muscle adaptation will be very very different. So that's why their diet is different, all kinds of the way they can actually perform is also different. So for example, a person who is playing badminton, professional badminton player, or a person who is doing gymnastic, they would have a very different muscle adaptation and muscular ability. And last but not the least, our bone is, as I said, it's an active tissue. Our bone, as when we are in the infancy, it grows. Various kinds of bone cells, they remodel, and they the bone size increases as we age, and finally we go to our adult self. But once we get adult, it doesn't mean that our bone remodeling stops. Depending on what kind of activity we are doing every day, our bone remodeling also actually gets influences. The bone remodeling is nothing but the bone composition, the minerals and whatever it's made up of, it comes into the blood, and then various kind of mineral again gets deposited into the bone. That actually keeps your bone healthy. It's called bone cycle. This whole bone remodeling thing is actually very much influenced by our physical activity, and physical activity actually what keeps our bone regeneration in a very optimal rate, so that we do not lose important minerals that actually present in the bone, and uh, keeps the bone very strong and healthy. So all of these all together actually influences how our musculoskeletal system is talking to the body, and how our musculoskeletal system is at its optimal strength. So what happens when there is increased weight? We are talking a lot about physical activity and weight, and we're saying that it has very important bearing on our musculoskeletal health. But how actually the whole thing is impacting, how increased weight has an impact on our musculoskeletal health? See, when we are aging, or there is any kind of inactivity, generally a sedentary lifestyle, what happens as a natural phenomenon is there is increased fat cells or adipocytes in our body. I have previously mentioned that fat cells do not have an active metabolism system. They do not utilize oxygen. They do not uh, what we call respiration. There is no cellular respiration in adipocytes. So the more adipocytes increase, the less amount of oxygen is getting supplied in those parts of the body, because it constricts blood vessels. It actually takes the space of a muscle, and there is less amount of oxygen supply in those areas of the body. And now whenever there is less amount of oxygen supply to any part of the body, that means that part is regenerating, and there is macrophage infiltration. Macrophage is basically a part of an immune system. There is various kind of immune cells in our body. Macrophage is one of the most important immune cells. It's part of immune system. Macrophage infiltration means actually the macrophage treats the part of body where there is no oxygen supply or less amount of oxygen supply as an external threat, because immune system gets activated when there is any kind of external threat in our body. There is any kind of virus, there is any kind of infection or any bacteria. But here what happening is, as there is less amount of oxygen, it actually treats its own part of the body as a external threat, and it recruits other immunity component there as well. So there is macrophage infiltration. So all of this, why it is important? Because all of this altogether causes a thing that is named as what we call is basically underlying inflammation, or subclinical level of inflammation, with or chronic low grade inflammation, we can say. What is chronic low grade inflammation and why it is important? Because chronic low grade inflammation is something that you cannot feel on day to day basis. When there is high level of inflammation, there is responses like fever or pain. We can understand that we are sick. That feeling it comes there. But when there is chronic low grade inflammation, we cannot understand that, or we do not feel that on day to day level. But chronic low grade inflammation is one of the major reason for different kind of metabolic diseases. For example, diabetes or hypertension. Those kind of metabolic diseases are actually, low grade inflammation is one of the leading cause for that kind of diseases. And all of this altogether impacts our musculoskeletal health in a very adverse way. What exercise does in this scenario is exercise helps to burn those fat. Exercise helps to get your muscles moving. And the more muscles are moving, the more muscles are active and stimulated, there is more need of oxygen and the blood flow will be better and there is more oxygen supply. So this chronic low grade inflammation situation never happens when people are active throughout their day and throughout their lifetime as well. So this is a very interesting survey, or you can see various kind of data sets and you might get confused a little bit. So this is basically a kind of study that has been done on working class people or employees or working population. Different kinds of people has been included in this survey, or in this included in this study, where normal people, people who are overweight, people who are obese, all of them were included in the study to understand the correlation between the weight and different kind of musculoskeletal pain. For example, neck pain or shoulder pain, any pain in the upper extremities or lower extremities or back pain. These are the things that people generally complain, right? It's not something like if you take 10 people out of the population, maybe 9 of them will be complaining about these things. It's a very, very common. So this study has been done to see if there is any association between these pains and the weight that a person is bearing. And all of the different other factors, for example, different other diseases or their health or lifestyle, all of these things has been actually nullified in the studies. But still, there has been a clear correlation, as in the data set you can see, has been established that people who are overweight or in the obese category, they are actually complaining a lot more about the different kinds of musculoskeletal pains in general. They are complaining a lot more about this musculoskeletal pains than the people who are having normal weight. So there is a clear correlation that has been established that people who have over people who are overweight or have more than their optimal amount of weight are actually suffering from this musculoskeletal pains a lot more. So this study is actually something we should really reflect upon, and we should take very seriously, because this kind of pains, this starts very small, and if you don't take care of it, it actually can lead to other different kinds of disease, and it can actually limit your quality of the life. You if you do not actually stop living, but your quality of life, it's not something very serious that we get bedridden or something, but the quality of life actually gets very much lower if you do not take care of these pains in right time. So this is a very busy looking slide and you might get confused a little bit about what is going on here. So here we want to establish how the skeletal, our weight impacts the skeletal muscle maintenance and regeneration. So in simple words, I can say that there is systemic metabolism in our body, which basically in cellular systemic level, the cellular metabolism or the cellular activities that are happening. And it is actually influenced by how our muscle metabolism, our skeletal metabolism, and our muscle metabolism is happening. Both of this has two-way, all of this relationship you can see has two-way arrows, which means they do not influence one another, they actually influence each other. If there is any kind of changes in the skeletal muscle metabolism, there will be changes in the systemic metabolism as well. And all of this together have effect on this muscle stem metabolism, muscle stem cell metabolism. This muscle stem cell is basically the most active when we are in the kids or we are in our infancy. They are the most active, and as we age, the muscle stem cell activity actually reduces. This muscle stem cell activity never stops, but it reduces with age. And it's very important, this muscle stem cell activity, retaining the activity is very important for our adaptation of different kind of activities in muscle, because without the stem cells you won't be able to be as adaptive to different activities as you are with the optimum activity. And if there is any kind of metabolic diseases, any kind of increased weight, or any uh, different metabolic conditions, this whole metabolism or this whole interaction is actually affected, and they response there is very various adverse changes to this whole system that are relying to each other. And depending on what kind of activity you are taking, there is different kinds of muscle fiber as well. There is slow fiber and there is fast fiber. What is the difference between these two? You can see this very clearly in people who are athletes. Those who have, for example, marathon runners, they would have more of the slow fiber, and athletes who need a very immediate burst of energy, they will have a fast fiber composition of body. All this actually, this slow fiber or fast fiber, along with the physical activity, kind of physical activity they are doing, along with that, there would be diet that impacts this composition as well. But not only on athletes, but in normal people also, this slow fiber and fast fiber segregation happens in our body, because slow fibers are those that utilizes fatty acid as a fuel, and give a slow release of basically energy. And fast fibers give an immediate burst of energy, and they utilizes carbohydrate as a source of energy. That's why people who have diabetes, or people who have, it has been seen actually, people who have diabetes or people who have overweight or any kind of metabolic condition, their body composition mostly of fast fiber, while normal people would have more of a slow fiber composition. So in general, fast fiber, as they utilizes carbohydrate, they utilizes less amount of energy, right? Because carbohydrate have less energy inherently, fatty acid would have more energy in per molecule or per gram. So as fast fiber utilizes less energy, there would be less energy burning in the body, and less amount of energy production in the process. So in general, our target should be to have more of these slow fibers, which basically physical activity ensures that the more amount of physical activity and the kind of physical activity you do, as I say, would have an impact along with diet in the composition of the fiber. So we as persons should have the target to have more slow fibers, slow kind of fibers in our body, so that we can utilize more and more fatty acids in the body. So these are the few ways our muscular weight can impact our muscular system. All of this has been established by various clinical studies. So weight has a very, very important bearing, as we are still discussing about it, that in our musculoskeletal outcomes, means different kinds of pains and all of that will increase with the increasing amount of weight. And if you it has been seen that if people lose weight to their optimal level, the optimal weight that they should have as per the height, this all of these complaints actually reduces for most of these people. And it also has relation with fibromyalgia, which is basically the widespread pain that happens in the body. Weight has impact in that as well, and reducing weight would actually help in these conditions. And the more one person's weight increases, the muscle functionality actually reduces, because see, muscle functionality is very much correlated with our muscle regeneration. As more and more weight increases, we get inactive, because a person who is very overweight or obese will inherently have less activity than a optimal weight person. And the lesser your activity is on everyday basis, the lesser you have muscle motility, and the lesser you have the muscle regeneration power, which will inherently affect your muscle functionality and will ultimately lead to your muscle loss. The muscle strength will be less. And we are talking about insulin resistance from day one itself. Insulin resistance, the less and less you have physical activity, or the more your weight is, the more you have fat cells in your body, your insulin your body will build up insulin resistance. Your body will not have proper uh, signaling to the insulin that should have, because there is increased amount of fat cells in the body. So all of this will have inherently will decrease your physical performance, your muscle adaptivity to different kind of activities, and the recovery will also be impaired, because recovery is something that's it's a highly demanding metabolic state. So the less amount of muscles in the body, or the less the muscles are regenerating or functioning, there will be impaired recovery. So all of this different way our weight can impact muscular system, because you can see whatever I have told in this particular pointer, you can see that here one leads to another thing. The one thing, if you have higher weight, you will have musculoskeletal pain, and that pain will lead you to less amount of being even lesser active than you were before. The less active you are, there will be more amount of muscle loss, and there will be lesser muscle motility. All of there is It's basically a chain reaction, one thing leading to another thing, and all of this all together will basically cause different kind of metabolic disorders, or different kind of metabolic issues, and will basically enhance the problems that you have beforehand. So having keeping your weight to the optimal level of your what your weight should be is a very very important thing to consider, not only for musculoskeletal health but your overall metabolic health in general. So how weight impact the particular systems maintain our musculoskeletal systems maintenance and regeneration. So along with increased amount of weight, there is various effects in the body that you can see. First of all is hypertension, dyslipidemia or dysglycemia. Basically the lipid and glucose balance in the body is disturbed, and there is hypertension, always increased amount of blood pressure with weight, because there is always more amount of tissue for the blood to supply oxygen, so there is always hypertension in the body. All of this altogether have increased amount of people who are obese. There is an increased amount of adipokines as well. For example, you can see here leptin, which is called hunger hormone, which is secreted from fat cells. So the more an amount of fat cells in the body, the more amount of this adipokines or leptins, all of this will be secreted. And there is increased mechanical load for people who are obese as well. Mechanical load basically means what amount your of load your muscle can actually handle, or the amount of load your muscle is taking when you're overweight. It's obviously a lot more than a normal person when you are obese or morbidly obese. And there is less amount of vitamin D in people who are obese as well, because there is not enough supply for all the different kinds of activities that happening in the body. And there will be increased bone marrow fat, increased visceral fat deposition. All of this we have already seen, and all together it will cause inflammation in the body. We have already talked that the increased amount of fat cells in the body, there will be lesser oxygen supply, and there will be inflammation in the body. All this all together actually what does is it impacts our bone remodeling, and as our bone remodeling is impacted, it more and more increases the inflammatory osteoarthritis and different osteoporosis. All these different kind of issues starts to appear, and it gives immense pressure on our different kinds of joints. So that's what stops our bone proper bone regeneration, and our bone maintenance is not done well when we are overweight or we are obese. So I was already talking about this effects, what actually how weight impacts our skeletal system. All of this has been well documented with different kind of clinical studies. We have already established this. Different studies in different population, different age group has been done, and these correlations has been established really well. First of all is osteoarthritis. Is basically degeneration of our bone cells and our cartilages. Weight actually enhances osteoarthritis, and with increased weight there is increased chances of developing osteoarthritis, and with increased inflammation, the inflammatory arthritis, which is basically rheumatoid arthritis, we have increased chance of that as well. Even though rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, weight can actually enhance the chances of having that. So more amount of this pressure, when you have a high weight, your joints are basically going through increased amount of pressure. Basically our knee joints, which takes the weight of our whole body is going through increased amount of pressure than it should, so which can lead to inevitably increased risk of fracture. There can be chances of joint replacement, and there is always complaint of back pain, knee pain. All the older person, you can see those, especially those who are overweight, will be complaining about knee pain, back pain. They have less motility, they cannot walk properly without the help of others or anything. So that will be causing a risk of joint replacement, knee replacement surgeries in later in their life. And altogether as well, what happens is our bone mineral density also changes if there is increased amount of weight, because as there is increased amount of weight in our if you have more than optimal weight, or you're obese or you're underweight, a person is underweight, there will be the bone remodeling will be impacted, and the way there will be less vitamin D in body, and as there is less vitamin D, most of this obese individual, you can see that in blood work there will be less vitamin D, and as there is less vitamin D, there will be less calcium deposition, and different kind of metabolic activity will be less, so there will be less there will be changes in the bone density, and altogether this alters our bone microstructure, our bone healing is impaired. So all of this basically affects our skeletal system in a negative way. So what are the remedies, what we can do for do to prevent all of these things, or even to recover from all of these things? So you can see here the set of activities. These are the things that we are actually talking about from day one, which you have to sleep 7 to 9 hours to get proper rest. You need to have a high protein diet to support your muscle in different kinds of activities. Hydration is very, very important, not only for the overall health of the body, but also for musculoskeletal health as well, as muscle is an active tissues, and the more amount of activity we're engaging, the more amount of water it will be needing. We need to have sufficient amount of whole foods in our diet, and lesser amount of inflammatory foods. Inflammatory foods are basically the refined carbs, sugars, and high fat, and all the junk food, all of that that can actually trigger an oxidative stress in our body. All of those inflammatory foods, we need to cut down on those. We need to have low impact activity. And you might question that why low impact activity, why can't I go with high impact exercises? Because once you're losing your weight, if you are more very overweight or morbidly obese, and you are trying to go to your optimal weight, you're trying to go to your optimal weight level, there will be your muscles are basically recovering in that time. Your muscles were very it was not working optimally, and now you want to go into that optimal level of weight, so it is slowly recovering. Putting too much pressure in that time, or doing very high impact activity that time, can actually cause muscle injury, so we do not want to do that. So any kind of light impact activity that slowly and gradually prepares your muscle to do the optimal activity, or go for high impact activity, is what recommended. And we need to at least do stretching 10 to 30 minutes a day, because we mostly, all of us, have very sedentary lifestyle. We just sit one place, we do a desk job, or we sit in front of a laptop, television, anything throughout the day. So having a stretching routine for 10 to 30 minutes a day will give those muscles the break and the rejuvenation and regeneration that they need, and it will help in engaging the muscles that are generally not engaged in our day-to-day activity. And to promote our bone and joint recovery, we need to have a few sets of routines that we are already talking about from day one. For example, balanced nutrition, which is very important. Adequate protein intake is also not only important for our muscle health, but also for our bone and joint recovery, as bone is also what protein is. It's made up of with different minerals. It also have a protein matrix as well. Hydration is key, as we have said. Weight management is very important. Now, when we say weight management, we mean that you need to keep your body weight to the optimal level. Weight management is all about that. As per your height, what your optimal weight should be, it should keep in that level. You should do strength training and joint specific exercises, but obviously with expert guidance, and avoid overuse. A lot of us things, when we start exercising or when we start doing any kind of physical activity, we overdo it, which leads to different kind of injuries, which are very painful. So any kind of overuse without any expert guidance is never recommended. And limit the amount of inflammatory food in your diet. Have omega-3 fatty acids, which are very important for our muscle regeneration. An optimal amount of rest and recovery is very important. So here are the few interesting facts. I'll talk about one or two, which are very important. For example, American Association of Orthopedic Surgeons, they have uh, found in a study that per every pound of body weight that increases, every pound of body weight is a little lesser than 1 kg, there will be 4 to 6 pounds of pressure in the knee joint, which is around 3 kg. So you can see even lesser than 1 kg of weight can increase in weight can actually put around 3 kg of pressure in your joints, which are extremely, it can be lethal as well. And if you see 7 out of 10 people, they with they have musculoskeletal condition are overweight. All those who are complaining about a different kind of back pain, neck pain, and all of that, 7 out of 10 people will actually be overweight, which is, I think, something we should really take seriously. And if you are facing this kind of pains, you should first check if your body weight in the optimal level. And if there is excess body weight, there is a major risk of fracture in postmenopausal women, because in postmenopause state there will be less of a level of estrogen in our body, which helps our bone remodeling, and there will be less bone remodeling, and there will be increased amount of chances to have fractures. So that's why people, especially women who are in postmenopausal state, they should really take care of their diet and take care of their activity, physical activity level. With that, I'll be ending today's session. I hope you learned something today about your how your musculoskeletal system function, and how keeping your weight in optimal level and having a dedicated physical activity routine on everyday basis will not only impact your weight, it will actually impact your metabolic state, your musculoskeletal health, all of that all together. And here is the activity of the day for you. Share your plan or tips that you are going to adopt for recovering your muscle and support your joint and bone health. Do share this activity in your respective groups. And with that, I'm ending my session today. Over to you, Shimali.
Thank you so very much, Amrita. And I'm sure, I was listening to you and I can totally relate whatever you have, shared with us today. And absolutely, the relations that you have shared between musculoskeletal health and, the disorders that can happen. And a ligament is a very common, challenge that we see nowadays, especially also, bone related and musculoskeletal related issues that we see, and especially uh, relating it to the fat that we have in our body, or relating it to the amount of fat which can cause a different challenges in our life. So with that, like you have also shared about the BMI factor in that, metabolism, how our slow and fast fibers work in that. So I would want to ask a question. Already you have like shared a activity of the day, which is very amazing. But to everyone out there, I hope you have make your notes and everything. You have listened to the and our nutritionist Amrita very well has explained about everything. So I want to ask you a brief, a 2 3 questions, which is the answer to what she has shared, and she also shared with us. What is the activities for muscles recovery? So any 4 activities which you remember right now, and you will gonna include in your lifestyle, you can let me know in the chat box. So you can use the chat box and let us know what are the 4 activities that you are going to include in your daily lifestyle, and that can help you in the muscle recovery. And that was very very easy. I think that will not only help us in the muscle recovery, but also in the overall health, would definitely gonna help. So any 4 which you remember right now, you can write it in the chat box. So the second question that I want to ask you here, that you can answer in the chat box, and we'll get definitely gonna read your comments. What are the ways in which I hope you have learned about the, because this topic was related to musculoskeletal health and how it affects in our weight also. So I want to ask you the ways in which weight impacts your musculoskeletal health. So I'm sure you must remember very beautifully. Amrita has explained with all of us that how can it impact our musculoskeletal health. So I'm sure you remember every single point that she has shared, but I want to ask you any 3 to 4 ways that you can share with us in the chat box. 3 to 4 ways in which your weight impacts muscular health basically. So you can let us know in the chat box. And also, I would say the topic that we have covered today was very much relatable, because now is the time when we are in the season where we need to take care of our bone health and musculoskeletal health more, like we do in our in other seasons. So I'm sure that you're gonna protect and the knowledge that we have gained from here would you're gonna implement in your daily lifestyle. And the 2 questions that I have asked you, do write us in the chat box. So with that, now let's move to the second segment of our session, and I would like to invite Meenal on this virtual stage, our fitness expert for the fitness activity of the day. Over to you, Meenal. I'll just make it.
Thank you, Shimali. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's session. And yes, let's get started. We're going to start with some warm up moves standing. And towards the end, we'll do workout. And yes, today we're going to do your favorite workout, which is lifting weights. Shivali, you also have to give me screen sharing. So wear your proper socks, shoes. Once you get ready with your, clothing, your sports wear, more than half of the battle is already won. So make sure that before you sleep, you keep your, sports clothes ready. That I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna brush my teeth, drink water, all that, and this is what I'm gonna get ready in. Okay. So once you are in your workout gear, workout to ho hi jayega. Okay, let me share the music now. It's okay. So guys, come by the time music is getting shared. We'll start with some moves. Start with on the spot walk. Just walk like this, with slightly lifting your knees higher than before. Okay, just walk like this. Oh yes, simple moves. But yeah, let's get started. Very nice. Now open your feet more than your hips. Okay, so a little further than your hips here. Okay, start stretching out and out at length. Yes, from the toes to the upper side. Fully stretch, 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 stretch. Keep going to the sides, sides, sides. Yes, move your both the hands. Roll up, up, up. Keep going, keep going. Breathe out with every move. So every time you go right and left, yes, it's done. Thank you. Every time you go right and left, you're gonna move. Okay, and here we go. Let's come down to the mat, everyone. And yes, let's pick some weights today. Let's do some weight training. We're going to start with simple full body crunch up. We also call it V sit up because I do not let your legs fall in between. I make them open in a V. Okay, so when you sit, you have your heels digged in the mat and both your feet placed out in such a way that when you're rising up, your navel is nicely tucked in and you are squeezing your muscles, entire core muscle group, okay, as you're rising up. Legs have no role to play here. So I don't want your movements with a jerk and a thrust. I want your movements with a lot of control. Okay. Start with something which is lighter and then slowly progress. For the core, 5 kg is very light. Okay, you might not feel much even with 5 kg. Yeah. And if you are thinking that I cannot do crunch, try it with a weight. Weight pulls yourself up. Okay. So it's like one prof which actually pulls you up. So that's why I always say you don't have to lift the weights. Weights lift themselves up. Okay. So you'll see it. Do a crunch without a weight and then do a crunch with weight. See which is easier. Let's go. Hold tight. You're going to dig your heels in the mat. Squeeze. Keep your weight back. You're going to tap the navel in. Squeeze. Okay, not necessary that leg has to be up, but yeah, it has to be out. Now tap the core in. Lengthen through the spine. You're going to lift, squeeze, and up. Squeeze and up. 3. Up. 4. Up. 5. Up. 6. Up. 7. Up. 8. Up. 9. Up. 10. Breathe out. Keep your palms up. Your hands have to be up. Yes, very good. Breathe out. Lengthen that spine. Super, super work. Let's do 10 more. 10 is always the warm up with the core. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Very good. Take a breather. On the mat, switch 90 degree. Your legs both the side. Relax your core. Stretch your obliques, both the muscle group nicely. Same to the other side. Relax and stretch. To the other side. Relax and stretch. To the other side. Relax and stretch. Very nice. This time, take the weight on your navel. Okay, we're gonna bring the hips up. So glute bridges, but weighted glute bridges. Okay, I'm keeping plates, but yes, it would be great if you have a dumbbell. Okay, for placement. So you keep it here, and when you rise up, the weight has to be right, squeezing all your core muscles up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, a slight hand to the weight so that it doesn't slip over. But the idea is to feel that we burn here with the weights here. 3, 4, 5, breathe out, very good. 6, keep one hand on the weights just to avoid slipping. 7, 8, 9, squeeze up, lift up and squeeze up, and 10. Take a breather or do 10 more. I'll take a dumbbell here. 1 second. One set done, 20 reps. Let's do second set. Tuck the core in. Make sure that the weight is placed right in a fashion that you feel that burn in your glutes. Okay. So not here, here. Okay. So that your hips get a direct hit as you lift. Let's do second set. 20 to 25 reps. First set was just the warm up. Core tight, squeeze. Okay. So you're gonna keep it nice here and go. So this. So you see, if my weight is here, the relation with the glutes. That's what I've said. Okay. So here you go. You're gonna lift and push up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, push it up, keep it up. Feel that burn. I know even calves will be burning. Yes, that's the power of the weight. That's the power of the weight. All your muscles can feel that burn. But imagine there's no pressure to the joints. Yeah. And 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And relax. To the side. Again, take a breather. Legs both the sides, stretched out. Navel tuck in, obliques lengthen. Same to the other side, stretch. To the other side, stretch. To the other side, stretch. And the center. Again, second time. Oh no, second is third set. Third set. Let's do a third set after our second set of V sit-ups. Yeah. So you're gonna do the second set of V sit-up. Everyone who's doing a V sit-up might also be feeling the pain slightly in your triceps. So good, no? It's a combination move because you're lifting weight from the back, and as you lift it up, your tricep also get triggered. So it's absolutely okay if you're feeling it in your tricep. Rather, it's great. Okay, great. Let's pick it for the second set. Up in the V sit-up. Breathe out, core tight. Yeah. So, see, I'll show you how I'm going to do this move. Though this is 10 kg. So, you have to be slightly cautious when you pick up 10 kg. It's quite a weight to be lifted while doing a V sit-up. Yeah. Otherwise, stick with 5 kg, 7.5 kg. Even a weight plate is that is stable thing to hold. So, with your dumbbells over your head, back and forth, be very cautious. Yeah. Here we go. We're going to do second set. Breathe out, core tight. So here it is. This is what I was saying. That when you lift up from here, this muscle gets triggered. Yeah, the entire tricep gets triggered. So there are going to be two angles to it. So all those people who are talking about that we have a flab here, everything else is gone. Stay put on your journey because you are cutting down on the fat in your diet, or you're cutting down on the calories, like the calorie deficit, which is targeting fat loss. And yes, the workouts are targeting the strength part. Okay. So yes, stay on that journey. You can never spot reduce your weight. Okay. So your body will shed it overall. So if you think there are parts which are slimmer, which are toned down, it means it's working. Okay. So instead of pointing out to your body in a negative, keep going and do your second set. I'll keep explaining this part because a lot of people come back saying this, that this has happened, but this is still there. So you need more love to that part which is still struggling. What do you think? Your body is not struggling? Your body is struggling far more than you to come to in terms with what you want. Imagine there's this person who's inside you who needs the most what? Your love and your affection. And we are like, we keep this as the last. Yeah. So when you feel that, oh, this part is not good, and I'm not happy with my flabby arms, please don't do that. Give them a lot of love and affection. Imagine they're your arms. You're doing your work with them. Yeah, just imagine that part. Yes. So treat them with a lot of love, passion, compassion, and like, yes, you're getting stronger and you're feeling it like that. They'll also get motivated. They all listen to every thought, not just what you speak. Every thought which you get, no, each and every cell in your body gets through that. Each and every cell in the body gets through what you're thinking here. Imagine, do you want to tell your little cells that you're not good? That you're not happy with them? No. Yeah. So you're going to tell your body, yes, I'm becoming stronger. I'm eating right. I'm on my fitness journey. I'm going to get there. And all these parts covered. One, very important. Enjoy your journey. Yeah. Every set, every rep you do, feel good about it. Yeah. Create that mind and muscle connection. Then do it. Feel the difference how your body reciprocates with that. It's going to get like a high. Imagine the high you can get in your life is through your workouts. All the high you want to get in your life is through your workouts. You know, you're sitting and you're like, oh, I'm tired and I'm idle. And then suddenly you're like, oh, I know what will cheer me up. What's that? Workout. That's exactly how you should feel about yourself. And that's true. Yeah. Sitting and feeling dizzy, not feeling good, sip on your water. Okay. And then go for a walk. See the difference. Half an hour of walk and your entire thought process and what your body is going through is completely changed. And after your walks, your body is so well warmed up. Do something, plank workout, lift weights, push-ups, pull-ups, do any workout, and then see how your body feels. That little is the difference between your happiness and the cheering part. Okay, let me put some workout songs. We're gonna start with our second set of V sit-up. Okay. Let's go.
beef, high in the inner beef. Moves like prime, I'm high in the inner beef. High in the inner beef, high in the inner beef. Moves like prime, I'm high in the inner beef. High in the inner beef, high in the inner beef. Moves like prime, I'm high in the inner beef. High in the inner beef, high in the inner beef. Moves like prime, I'm high in the inner beef. Right in the inner beef. High in the inner beef.
Very nice. Let's breathe out. Slowly rub your palms. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be ending the session now.